And I use a lot now. I took from you where you said it's hard to wrap your brain around all of this fame stuff. Is it still difficult?
Definitely, definitely. Really? And I wouldn't want to get too comfortable with it, you know? The other reality about it is that basically it kind of comes and goes for everybody. I mean, except for like Elvis and you know? Or they,
And I hear the traveling with Brad Pitt is...
It's a pretty interesting experience.
How so? How so?
Well, the only way I can describe it is there's a sound that human beings make that I didn't know that they made. It is a primal kind of animal shriek that kind of comes out when Brad shows up.
Well, doesn't that happen with you and George? No, no it does not.
No. See, that's a human scream. I'm talking about an animal scream that happens.
So it made international news on May 14th in London when Gwynneth gave birth to Apple, Blythe Allison Martin. What's her little personality like?
She's very tranquil. She's very kind of placid and very aware. I mean, the first morning we woke up together in the hospital bed and we were facing each other and I opened my eyes and she's got these huge blue eyes and she was just staring at me with this unbelievable intensity. And that's kind of what she's like. She's very curious, and when her daddy walks in the room, she, you know, if we're sitting like this, he walks in and he says, "Hello, girls," and her little head's like, you know, trying to find his voice, and it's pretty sweet.
Pretty sweet. And that first stare when you said you woke up and she's looking at you, and what were you thinking?
I mean, I was just sobbing, you know, it's just incredible, you know, you live your whole life and you think, oh, I'm doing something, I'm working, and I'm this person, I'm that to all these people, and then you have a baby and it just changes everything. It's just, in 1 minute, you just are completely redefined, and I swear that well of emotion is just, it's inexplicable, and I just felt like my life is forever changed.
Deb had a question that so many people wanted to know. Deb, go for it.
Oh, yes. I wondered why you named your baby Apple.
Right. Well, basically, it was because when we were first pregnant, her daddy said, if it's, basically, one day he just said, if it's a girl, I think her name should be Apple. And it sounded so sweet, and it conjures such a lovely picture for me. You know, apples are so sweet, and they're wholesome, and it's biblical, and it's just... They're so, and I just thought it sounded so lovely and
clean.
Clean.
Yeah.
And then she was born, and it became like an international outrage.
Gwynneth married Grammy-winning musician Chris Martin in a very private ceremony in California. Why did you decide not to have the big princes? Everybody thought you would have had the la la. You know what I mean? The train and the doves flying, and some harps playing, and things like that. You did the opposite.
No, I definitely did the opposite. There's a few reasons. One, it was a shotgun wedding. Two, because I really wanted it to be private, and I did not want the media
to become a thing.
To become a thing and to get involved, and I was so happy that I had found this person, and I just wanted to keep it between us, and I thought the only way to do it was really to sneak off and do it and surprise everyone. And also, I didn't have my dad to walk me down the aisle, and, you know, and also, I think, you know, I've had a lot of days in my life where I've had to kind of dress up and put on diamonds and get all the attention, and I associate that with work, and it's like, I've had those days. And so the idea of, I mean, most brides, it's their big special day, and it's this incredible thing, and I sort of wanted to have no attention, and I just wanted the opposite, so that's kind of why we did
That's
it that
great.
way, yeah.
That is really great. I so get that. Yeah. So get that. I know. I so get that, because every day I walk out, it's like a wedding.
Exactly.
Yeah, everybody,
You're the bride every day.
When you hear the words Parkinson's disease, what was your reaction?
It was silly. I didn't, you know, I thought the guy was nuts. I didn't, you know, he told me, and yeah, my understanding of it was that it was something that old people had, that, you know, I vaguely knew what it was, but not really.
Well, the first thing you write about in the book is the day you woke up feeling like something wasn't quite right, and you were just 29 years old. And you write here, I think, like on page 1, I woke up to find, you call it a wake-up call.
But yeah, I woke up and I had my hand over to block the light, and I could feel something brushing against my face, and it was my pinky. And so I read about this morning I spent in this hotel room in Florida, because I was dealing with this pinky, and you know, it was funny and it was scary and it was just bizarre. And I was like, you know, walking around this hotel room naked, you know, talking to my hand, trying to get it to calm down. And I didn't know that was really, it wasn't really the start of it, because by the time you get any symptoms at all, they say 80% of the cells that produce dopamine in your brain are already gone. So, so it wasn't really the beginning. It was the beginning of me knowing about it.
What is it really, though, for everybody who's watching? We've heard your story. Throw
this one.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
Okay.
It was getting the better of me.
I can see.
That's what was really depressing. I'm fighting a pillow and I'm losing.
Tell me what happened, though, when you had to, you diagnosed yourself and you had to then come home and tell Tracy about it.
She let me know that, I mean, she was clearly frightened, but she let me know right away that you know, I was not alone in it. And she didn't offer any false assurance of, you know, that she knew what it was, or that, you know, she had a plan, but I knew that I wasn't alone.
So what does bootylicious mean?
Bootylicious, wow. It's now in the dictionary.
I heard.
Yes, I can't believe I wrote a
Mr.
word.
Webster's fallen over.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Bootylicious is in the dictionary, and it means exactly what?
Well, I'm not sure the definition they gave. I think it was like sexy or something in the dictionary, but I think it's beautiful, bountiful, and bounceable.
And so now when you see people doing that little move, that's hard to do. Is that little bootylicious move, isn't it?
I think every woman can do it. I really do. I know you can do it.
There you go. All right, Oprah. All right. Let's see. I just wanted to see, because you were so kind to do this, because I said, would you ask her to bring in a Grammy so we can see what they all look like together? Let's see what 5 Grammys look like. Hello. For you. These are pretty, too. Wow. Okay. How does this feel, really?
It's surreal.
Yeah, I believe it.
I mean, I'm speechless. I still haven't realized what has happened this year. It's just a whirlwind. I'm speechless, obviously. I can't describe it. It's been a dream. I always dreamed of winning a Grammy. And I was blessed to win 3 with Destiny's Child.
Right.
And I was just as excited when I won the 5. I can't even say it. It's crazy.
To the outside world, Tatum was riding high, idolized by young girls everywhere, living what looked like a glamorous life as Hollywood's hottest child actor, with her handsome father many times by her side. I remember, because I've watched the Academy Awards every year since I was 10 years old, and I remember watching you win the Academy Award and wanting to be you. And thinking, oh my God, how lucky is she? Then I read your parents weren't even with you that night.
Yeah.
That it was one of the saddest nights of your life.
I remember later that my dad actually took the Academy Award away from me. But, you know, I had always been alone, you know, so I never knew the difference between my mother not being there or my father, because, you know, I was the kid that just did everything by myself. So it's been a profound breakup because I broke up with my father, and it's a weird way of putting it. When I was 14, I had left home.
Have you and Farrah ever come to terms with one another?
No.
No.
I just don't know sort of how to communicate with her, like what sort of, like I don't know, is she normal? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like I just don't know what
You just don't know
No, planet she's on.
You don't know what planet she's on.
I don't
Let me ask you this. What would it take for you to make peace with your dad?
know. Nothing.
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 No, I have been enraged. I'm enraged.
You're enraged.
I'm enraged.
So what if he came to you and said, you know what? You told the truth. You told the truth. It wasn't how I saw it all the time, but you told the truth. And I am so sorry. I am so sorry.
Yeah, that would be good.
That would
That'd
be
be a
good.
start.
You say that there was a chilling moment. I remember this, where you talk about the chilling moment, and it was 7-year-old Emily, my baby, who came toddling into my bedroom one night and found something that I never wanted her to see, a syringe. Was that your bottom?
Well, yeah, that's what happens when you are in the disease of addiction. And that's the unfortunate thing, I think, about being in the bottom stages of addiction. And that's when you know that you need help, and that's what I got help. And I think it's really hard for mothers to get sober and to get clean. It's very hard for us because we have a lot of shame, we have a lot of guilt, we have a lot of maternal guilt.
Would you want to unring the bell and make your own life growing up more perfect?
Oh, yeah, I totally would.
You would.
Or maybe, I don't, that's a hard question. I don't know if I would want to change anything. I mean, I'd love to ask you that question.
Oh, I
mean-
wouldn't change a thing.
No. Really?
I wouldn't change one thing. I wouldn't change the abuse. I wouldn't change the growing up poor. I wouldn't change all the mistakes
Because
I've made. No,
it makes you the woman that you are today.
It put me right here.
So I'm
It made
thinking
now
that,
possible.
so if I could be more happy, if I could start to be less shameful about what I went through, as I get better and better, I think I'm gonna be more positive about the answer of, yeah, I wouldn't change a thing.